Hello, hello. I am approximately 3 or 4 minutes late, I believe. And I haven't got my camera stable, my platform. Which, if you've been here before, you'll know is a laundry basket, a laundry bin. So, yeah. Let's give it a couple of minutes, see if we get anybody wandering in, see if people are trying to get in and have given up on me because I was late. We shall see. For anybody watching on the replay, cheers to you on the replay. Or maybe if you joined late and YouTube decides to start you at the beginning, you might want to check the bottom left corner for the red dot. You're looking for a red dot next to the word live. Okay, I apologize for the late start. Yeah, it is what it is. Hello, hello. Late start. I was running around a bit like a headless chicken the last hour, just trying to. I had to go across to the Chino Bazaar and buy a poo bags for the dog and some of the. We'll get to that. That will be a thing later. Just hold on. Major incident of the week: poo bags for the dog. Bear with me, folks. Let's just give it another minute and see how many people join us. The numbers are starting to tick up. I just had to dance the dance again with the screen orientation, and that wasted another minute. I only created the stream within YouTube about 45 minutes ago, and even then, the bastard program went live on me. I'm in the middle of typing up like the description of the stream. Damn thing went live. Had to cancel it, delete it, and type all the crap in again. Bah! Okay, folks. Okay, there's a few of you there now at least. Thumbs up if you could. This is episode 40 of TrampCast. I am Delta Mike, and the channel is Down and Out in Torrevieja. As I said, Delta Mike, that's me. I am your host for this extravaganza, such as it is. Down and out. Well, you know, down and out. I got a whole list of synonyms here. A tramp, a hobo, a vagrant, an indigent person, a person of no fixed abode, a bum, I did last week, a person who sleeps rough, person who lives on the streets, or in my case, in a fucking field. And I fought my way up from nothing but a bedroll up to a glorious 7 metre by 3 metre tent, which is now getting a little bit old and starting to take damage, but we will get to that in due course. Tina girl, stop here. See whether my phone is taking. Yeah, look at that. Here's my girl. Huh? Leave the people alone. Leave the lady alone. Here's my girl. Tina, back under your corner. Okay, drink of water. I've lost her in the shadows. Is she there? I can't see her. My screen, folks, my screen. I think she's over there in the shadow, but I'm not. She is, just behind my pen there, I think. Just can't see her myself. Okay, let's crack on. Okay, folks, if you could, a thumbs up is always appreciated. Check the bottom left corner. If you're here roughly at 7 or 8 or maybe 10 minutes past the hour, I was a little bit late getting going. But if you're here now live, you're good. But if you're joining a few minutes late, check for the red dot in the bottom left corner. If you want to share the stream at any point. You could either nip out now, we'll still be here when you get back. We're not going anywhere for a little while. I would predict an hour and a half. It's not going to be a huge stream. It's not going to be an ultra short one, I don't think. You never know. It depends how smoothly the words flow. Because I make this shit up as I go. A few notes to go from. But in general... yeah, okay. So if you want to share now or afterwards, tell people about it, share it on Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat. I've got no idea. I don't know the names of these places anymore. I did just sign up for TikTok earlier this week, and I haven't looked at a single video yet. But I was talking to some young people, you know, and they were convinced that that some of my short videos that I put out on YouTube, they were convinced they'd do 5 to 10 times better if put out on TikTok. So I'll maybe try that at some point. I'd like you all to say hello in the chat. Everybody who joins the stream. Oh, look at that! But my phone isn't letting me bring up the chat. Even though I'm keeping the sun off the phone, it shouldn't be getting hot. But it's not taking... It took the click when I went to Tina before, didn't it? And now it's not. Welcome to the world of my phone, folks. I don't think it's got much longer left in it, but that might just be my personal opinion. Okay. Join us in the chat anyway. You should find a text box underneath the video on most platforms that you just click there, a chat pops up with messages from other people and you just type away. Join in, say hello, say hi. Tell me what a plonker I am or how great I am. Either way. There's far too many of you tell me what a plonker I am. Have a look here. What else have I got here? Subscribe. If you haven't subscribed already, folks, please consider it. I'm not going to tell you to subscribe. You're busy people. You've got a list of video people on YouTube that you subscribe to already. Consider one more for your list. It's a tramp living in a field. Oh, look at that. My pal Scruff Dog's here. Thank you, sir. I fell asleep halfway through last night, Scruff, and I woke up before the end though, so I was there. I was there at the end, but not there till the end. Sorry, mate. Time zones. If you could just move the continent a little bit this way, so you weren't so many hours adrift, that would help. That's a bit of homework for you, Scruff. Okay, folks. What else we got? I don't have to tell you. I normally at this point, I normally tell you that that when the stream ends, it goes private. But that doesn't happen anymore. Oh, Bonnie and Clyde in the house. Jeez. Okay. Stepping out of the shadows. But no, the streams. Now that I'm apparently, I didn't know this last week when I gave the blurb. But apparently now that I'm fully monetized, it no longer privates the streams after they end. I don't have to rush in to make them public again. They stay public. So that's good. That's one less job, and in future I won't even mention it. Okay, folks, let's begin. I'm going to begin with kind of a couple of pseudo announcements. These are not biggies, these are not, but I just want to note the fact that in the next I think it's 4 days. What's the date? It is the 11th, so 3 days time, on the 14th, I will have been homeless 2 years. I know, doesn't time fly when you're having fun? All those nights battling the rats, not exactly fun. All those encounters with the police, not exactly fun. Getting dragged off and arrested, I think it's twice now, is it? Not exactly fun. But I have kind of enjoyed things on the whole, apart from the obvious like incidents. And nice ladies walking by, Jasper says. Yeah. Oh, any nice. I thought you said and. There's a nice lady drove by. You got to stick until I tell you about Friday night. You got to still be here for Friday night. There was a lovely lady driving by. Wow. Knockout. Unfortunately married, I think. But stunning. Absolutely. And she smiled and gave me a big wave. But she's probably not a hobosexual. So I'm probably out of luck there. Where am I? Getting distracted from my notes, guys. Come on. Hola, buenos días. No, Tina. Hey. Tina, no. Tina, no. I said no. Sit you down and shut up. See whether we can flip the camera again. Oh, we did as well. Look. There she is. There's my girl. Lay down and be calm. She's been a good girl. For at least the last 5 seconds. Okay, where was I before Jasper? Jasper distracted me with pretty ladies. Announcements, pseudo announcements, yeah. So 2 years on the 14th, which 3 days, that'll be Wednesday, yeah? And I said I was going to maybe do a little video summarising some of these other videos. I haven't made a start yet. So I might have to get on with that tonight if I'm awake for the night. Caught any fish? No, Jasper. Where I am on the coast here, it's really rough and lots of rocks. And every time that me and Joby cast in the past, it would always get snagged. Whenever before we could reel out, reel back in, it always got snagged. We had to cut away almost every hook that we cast out, including what do you call them? The little toy fish on the ends, lures. So yeah, we know we lost bits. Not fossils. I don't think so. I haven't seen any. It's not like the Devon coast, which is probably somewhere roughly where you're from. We're not in Mary Anning territory. You don't just smash a pebble and there's an ammonite or a trilobite. It's not quite like that. These are bigger, heavier rocks that just sit there. Just the ground is rocks basically. So no fossils that I've seen. Now stop distracting me, you bugger. How are the sheep, by the way? How are your rams doing? Go on, I'm going to talk to you now, Jasper. Just you. Tell me how the rams are. How many did you get, and how are they doing? And cheers, everybody. Once Jasper answers this question, I will move on and get going properly. Maybe. Where am I? My announcements. Oh, yeah. Oh, and it went away before. I saw there was something there and it went. Hold on, I can do it. It's taking a click. It says live chat. And then it didn't show anything. Your rams butt you. They smack their heads into you and their horns. They're... Is that not a mating thing? They're not after you, Jasper. Are these rams that you've bought a little bit on the funny side? That's not the kind of ramming that you were after, my friend. Alright, I'll shut up now before I say something gets me into trouble. Okay, folks, so yeah, 2 years homeless on Wednesday. I'll probably celebrate it somehow, some way. But the main thing this week in terms of celebration, which I announced a couple of days ago, my friend Bella, sent me some money a while ago and told me to go to Tweety's for fish and chips on a Friday. Couldn't do it at the time. I didn't have enough spare cash. I think that by this Friday I will have. And I've already kind of announced it. I'm going to go to Tweety's in Torrevieja for fish and chips. And it's kind of an open invite. I'm not paying for you. But if you want to come and say hello and maybe have a plate of chips or a plate of fish and chips with me, I'm going to be there. Roughly speaking, 4 while 6-ish on Friday afternoon stroke evening. I wanted to avoid the hottest heat, but I wanted to go before we got too much into evening. So Tweety's this next Friday in Torrevieja, Avenida de la Mancha. Tweety's fish and chips. Me and Tina are going to be there 4 while 6 approximately. Anybody who's in the area who wants to come and sit with us and have fish and chips, like I said, I'm not buying them. I haven't got that much money, guys, you know. But this is a treat from Belinda. I'm finally going to get around to spending her money where she told me to spend it, rather than misappropriating it. Do they do pies? I believe they do. Yeah, they also do garlic breads and things for anyone who's of a like a vegan kind of persuasion. I used to go there with a friend, and he wouldn't do anything animal related. So yeah, although he did put mayonnaise on his. I think I've talked about him before. I spent 3 years living with this guy, and he was all over the place really. But yeah. Okay, what else in terms of announcements? So Tweety's Fridays, which is a potential meetup. I don't actually expect anyone to be there, but there's an invite there. If I'm going to be there, if anybody else wants to be, come and find me. Okay, folks. The only other announcement type thing that I've got is that I think last week we were on the cusp of 1,050 subscribers at the start of the show. I don't know what to call it. But I think we hit 1,050 there or thereabouts. We're now through 1,085. We're headed really for 1,100. I'd like to hit 1,100 by Wednesday, by the 2nd anniversary of being homeless, which that date's got nothing to do with the YouTube channel. The YouTube channel started way later, but it's just a number I've got in mind. You know, it's the next benchmark, the next target to hit. So if anybody does want to share the stream out there and let anybody know, fly on my nose, I'd appreciate it. Let's get to 1,100 by the 14th of August. Preferably by 11 o'clock on the 14th of August. We'll get to it. Okay, folks, that was the announcements. As you know, we normally do a numbers section, and we normally do it a damn sight earlier than this. The numbers section is intended, it's just facts and figures about the episode number. So this is episode 40 of TrampCast, and therefore some facts about the number 40. As I said, we would normally do this within the first 5 or so minutes. We'd start this, and it's normally a way of just killing some time and waiting for people to join us here in the stream. We're currently nearly 20 minutes in, so that doesn't really work, does it? But I like the number stream. I've been tempted to ditch it in the past because it's not common. It's not what's the word? It's not popular with people. When I release it as a separate video, it gets no views. But here we are anyway, folks. So, facts about the number 40. Minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit equals minus 40 Celsius. The two cross when you graph them out. Yeah, you see, Scruff, you're a little bit like me. You're like that, facts and information and how stuff works and just knowing shit. We're not normal, mate. I don't know if you've ever noticed. Big Clive might have mentioned it once or twice, but we're not normal. We're not the masses. I like to learn stuff. Yeah, me too. And this is why, I learn stuff every week when I do this rubbish. And like I said, it was only intended as a time waster while we just wait for people to join. Now it tends to be, look, now there are 9 people here. Only 4 of you are giving thumbs up. But by the time I finish reading this crap out, the numbers section, there'll be less than 9 here. They'll have left. Sorry about that, folks, but it's my stream. Tina, no. Hey, Tina, no. It's my stream. We do what I say. Okay. The Bible was absolutely full of 40 this and 40 that, 40 days this and 40 years the other. I took a few of them, but I trimmed it down because I might have mentioned before, I'm not exactly religious myself. I have been called heathen scum, usually by myself. Not only do you not understand it, Jasper, you also can't spell it, mate. Trigonometry. It means 3 knees measurement, literally. It's the measurement of 3 knees, 3 angles. That's all it means. It's just ratios of this length to that length, and this angle to that length, or this angle to that angle. It's not difficult. It gets silly once you get into inverse signs and negative signs and signs of cosines, and I don't always understand any of that, but I didn't go that far with it. Anyway, here we go, folks, some Bible stuff. You need new glasses. I can't help you, my friend, I'm afraid. I keep being donated whenever I run out. I'm fortunate. But go to the pound shop, Poundland, if you're talking reading glasses. Poundland, or I know Americans laugh when we say Poundland, because they've got a different meaning of pound. Okay, guys, 40 days and 40 nights of rain. That was the great flood during Genesis in the chapter 1 of their book. Also, that bloke Noah, after he saw the tops of the mountains, he waited 40 days before sending out the ravens to look for dry land. Another 40 from the Bible. That big bloke Goliath. He challenged the other bunch twice a day for 40 days before David, the shepherd boy, cheated. He did cheat. He was supposed to go into kind of man-to-man, not exactly unarmed combat, it would have been swords and shields. But David went in with artillery. The bloke cheated. There's no other word for it. Everybody's fighting with swords and shields, maybe a net. You've seen Spartacus, you know how this works. Maybe a trident and a net, or a trident and a shield. But it would have been, mano a mano, armed combat, man to man in the middle of a field, desert, ring, whatever it was. But young David went in with artillery and started launching rocks. I don't know. Storming Norman Schwarzkopf would back David, wouldn't he? Whenever you go in for war, you see, you want to go in with as uneven as battle as possible, but you want it to be uneven on your side. So, I don't know. In my head, David cheated. You might say he used nous, you know, he used a bit of knowledge, but I don't know. I don't know. Okay, more 40 days. That Jesus bloke, he fasted in the desert for 40 days and 40 nights. There's more 40s, yeah? Also, same bloke, Jesus, perhaps. After he died, the guy gave up a weekend. Come on, he didn't really die. He gave up a bank holiday weekend. Let's not overstate his sacrifice here. Gave up what? Late on Friday he probably died. Maybe even on Saturday morning. But Monday or Sunday was it? He got up. Sunday he got up. He got up again and went for a walk. He didn't even give up the whole weekend. Where am I? So anyway, after he got up and went for a walk on that Sunday morning, he waited 40 days before ascending to heaven. 40 again, folks. Lent. That's 40 days before Easter, isn't it? It starts. What do we have? We have Pancake Day where we get rid of all the ulcers. That doesn't really count. That's the last day before Shrove Tuesday. But I think Ash Wednesday, I think that counts. I think that is Lent, and we go from there. 40 days takes you to the Sunday. I think that's me finished with the. That's me finished with the religious ones because I don't want to get in too much trouble. I'm not. I know this is Sunday as well, isn't it? When I do this, and I always take a slightly irreverent look at the at our religious brethren. Mainly because science, you know. I don't know how after the age of 7 you could read Genesis and not start saying, there's this bloke, there's that woman, there's their kids. Oh, but their kids start marrying people. What people? It quickly... Thomas Paine, I think it was, wasn't it, that wrote... he went through the whole book and, listed every contradiction. I think that was Thomas Paine. Tom Paine. Getting sidetracked, let's get back to the number 40. The weekly countdown of top hits in both the US, UK and probably other countries. The top 40 became synonymous with the hit parade, or top of the pops as we had in the UK. In the UK, in the Grand National, the big horse race that happens, I think in May, April or May, happens the next weekend to the FA Cup final, either the weekend before or the weekend after, whichever one doesn't have the boat race. It all gets a bit cramped around there. But the Grand National, 40 runners maximum in that there big horse race. Now here's one I've got to be careful with the pronunciation. Kyrgyzstan. It's a country of 40 tribes. Let's have a look. 40 tribes. I think the stan means land. In any of these countries, your Pakistan, Afghanistan, the stan means land. The previous word means tribe. Ignore the I, that's like a joining word. So Pakistan, contrary to what we Brits used to call them, they call themselves the Paks. They are the Paks. And stan means land of the Paks. Afghanistan, land of the Afghans. The I is just a joining word. They're not Afghani, they're not... I can't say that word, I would get in trouble. We used to say it when I was a kid, it was every corner shop, wasn't it? But now we know better. I did the website once where I helped a bunch of guys with a website, and it was Pack something or Pax something. Not I. There was no I. We live and we learn, guys. We live and we learn. But Kyrgyzstan is the land of 40 tribes. And they have a lot of other things to do with 40 in their beliefs as a way of I guess, drawing people together, trying to unify the 40 tribes into one cohesive group. Let's see whether they waved back or not. Where am I? 40 winks to take a nap. If you were here a couple of months ago and you saw the end of my stream where I fell asleep, 40 winks, folks. I wasn't sleeping. It was just 40 winks. Some might suggest 40 winks after 40 drinks. But those of you that were here that counted, it was only 6 cans. Only 6. Here's one for the technical folks. People like Scruff Dog, if he's still here. WD-40. People think that it's an oil or that it's a lubricant. WD stands for water displacement. The idea of WD-40 is it gets moisture out of, you spray it in or on whatever, and it evaporates and it takes away the water with it. The 40 is because it was the 40th formula they tried. Water displacement formula 40. Scruff would know that. 40 is also in wedding anniversaries. Yeah, sucks for long-term lube because that's not what it is, yeah. Okay. All the evaporation probably leaves bits behind in the end and just makes things worse. At wedding anniversaries and other anniversaries, 40 is ruby. What am I? Ruby wedding anniversaries. Okay, we always have almost always have one of these. International direct dialing codes. You dial whatever your access code for international calls is. In the UK and I think most of Europe it's 00, isn't it? But we write a plus on the phone anyway, just to mean access the international calls. And then we type the number 40. And that gets us Romania. We almost always have one of these, or we almost always have so far. There was the 1 week where the West German one, was it 37 or 38, had been taken back when, East German, when they unified, and then it had been fractionated. It had had the additional 10, the 10 additional digits added on the end, and it had been used for other countries. So it's been recirculated. But we almost always have one. Here's another one, folks. Quarantine is literally meaning 40 days. And it was 40 days isolation introduced, I think in, was it Naples or Venice? One of the Italian, or one of the towns, cities that are now Italy, but obviously weren't back then. But that was the way of keeping out the Black Death. Any ship that pulled up in port had to wait. It had to anchor and weigh anchor for 40 days. And if the Black Death was on board, everyone would be dead after that point. If they were clean, they got off the boat and came into port, into harbour. So that was the beginning of quarantine. 40. Okay, finally, with some sub-items. Atomic number 40, zirconium, with the letters or initial ZR, the symbol ZR. First identified, get this, identified in 1789, isolated in 1824, but in a rather impure form. It was another 101 years later, 1925, before it was produced cleanly and at mass in large volumes. So that's incredible. 101 years from when it was first being produced in an impure form. But what? 133 years, I think that is. No, 130. 6 years after it was first discovered that it was mass produced. Incredible. Uses. It's used in places that get hot. Nuclear reactors, space vehicles, and turbine blades. And because it mentions getting hot, I assume we're talking jet engines rather than electricity turbines that just spin in the wind. You're looking at stuff that gets hot. So it didn't say this in the article I was reading, but that's got to be jet engines, hasn't it? Where they suck air in, compress it, expand it, light it, and turn the other end of the prop as well, and it all forces more air in. Okay, folks, this is episode 40 of TrampCast, and that was the facts about the number 40. Oh yeah, steam turbines. Yeah, places that get fuck off hot. Yeah. I meant as opposed to wind turbines, which are just sitting spinning in the air, which are probably going to pick up a bit of heat from friction, but nothing to write home about, I wouldn't have thought. Not that I know. I'm just a tramp sitting in a field. Okay, folks, quick swig of coffee. We're doing the two-handed drinking again. Can't quite make that out. Is that steam, Scuffer? It looks like it's steam or clouds, but oh shit! There goes the brawling. I've got it stuck in an inch of soil. There's only an inch before I hit bedrock. I do live on top of a cliff top. Where are we? That was the numbers. Okay, folks. So now we turn to the Thankyous. Episode 40 of TrampCast, and these are the Thankyous for the last week. Plus a couple that I missed last week because I'm like that. These are Thankyous to people. Well, it'll become obvious when I say it. It's 2 weeks ago, this weekend, so I would have been talking about it last weekend, that I hit 1,000 subscribers. And I wanted to thank subscriber 1,000, LCS, who, when Tez, who's the guy who put out for Very Nearly Interesting, his YouTube channel, when he put out, when he gave me a shout out and kind of told 70,000 people all about me, and they all flooded in saying, yeah, I've subscribed, and there's 20 to go, there's 10 to go, there's 5 to go. Well, Elsie was the one who hit the magical number. She was the 1,000th. So thank you to her and all the others, but you know, I'd love to thank everybody individually. It's just, you know, it's just not doable, folks. It's just not doable. I would if I could. And then, last weekend, I want to thank Emma... Tina? No. I want to thank Emma L. First name Emma, her surname begins with the letter L. She gave me my first ever super thanks. Now, whether I'll ever be able to withdraw that money or not, I've no idea. But I'm happy to receive it. How I handle the Spanish tax authorities and YouTube from here on out, that's on me. But I am happy to receive my first ever super thanks. So yeah, thank you for that. Now, also last week, during the show last week, I think it was, a bloke called Russell B offered to buy me a beer. He said he lives local and do I want to go for a beer? I was a little bit tied up with doing the stream at the time and didn't see and couldn't answer. I've since responded, but he might not have the settings set to like send an email or get notification that I replied to him. So I haven't had a response. But Russell B, if you're out there and if you're in Torrevieja and you still want to go for a beer, or come here and bring beers here, however you want to do it, I'm up for it, mate. Yeah, sure. I have to bring a dog with me, so we'll be sitting outside wherever we are. But if the offer's still open, I would like to say yes, please. And anyone else who wants to offer, you can either email me, Delta Mike Torrevieja @gmail.com. You can email. You can message me through YouTube. Just answer most of the comments. I sometimes find a reply, a response that I haven't seen for a couple of months, but it's rare. I see most of them. So yeah, if anybody wants to do that, or you can come and meet me at Tweety's on Friday afternoon, 4:06 is the plan. I'll update if plans change. But Russell B, thank you for the offer, and yes, please, my friend, I'd be up for that. Okay, now on to the more standard. Oh God, what am I saying? I shouldn't. Richard R. He sent £10, which came out at like something like 11.5 euros on PayPal. Thank you very much, sir. Then there's Sean from Expat in Mazzarón, or Mazzarón, I would read it as, but the Spanish do funny things with the Z. Now Sean gave me a shout out this week, and he's given me a shout out in the past. He was actually the first person to give me a shout out, from what I remember. Sean has a channel that talks about a place down in, I think it's in Murcia, in the Murcia region. And I happened to mention the other day that I'd hit the 1,000. I think he'd already seen. And he gave me a little shout out on his evening broadcast, which seemed to coincide with a rise of a few more subscribers. So thank you, Sean. Obviously, I can't tie things direct one-to-one, but it coincided, so it's probably related. Now, here's one. You remember my mate Anthony from a few weeks ago, a guy who came here and brought me fish and chips and beers and things, and he went back to the UK, back to Ireland, not the UK. Get in trouble with that, won't I? I'm not kicking off the troubles again. Good God, no. I never know I never know whether they're in the north or the south, but and you know, it seems impolite to even ask sometimes. But anyway, Anthony. Well, it wasn't Anthony that came around, but his son came around and brought a friend with him. I think the friend was Luke. Could have been Lucas. I'm fairly sure it was Luke, but I was too slow to write my notes up. It's not that I didn't make note mentally at the time. I was just too slow to put it on paper, guys. So I'm sorry for any offence. And even more sorry if I've got it entirely wrong. But these guys, young lads, you know, I don't know, 20 plus or minus a year or two. And they came around and brought beer and ice, which, you know, that's nice. It gets bloody hot here, guys. I bet inside my tent now it's still above 40 degrees on bed and nearer 50 up at head height, 50 Celsius. We did the maths not long ago. I think it's about 122, 50, isn't it? From memory. Fahrenheit. It gets hot in there. So a cold drink is appreciated. And we'll get to that again in a minute, because the day after Ronan and Luke came, another friend came, Tom. Tom came, and he brought a bottle of ice cold, almost frozen water. which me and Tina shared. Put some in Tina's bucket over here. See if I can show you the bucket. You've probably seen it. Can you see that? There's a red bucket just over there, centre screen. I can't really make it out, but I can see the Tina over there under the tree facing the wrong way. Hey babe. Yeah. But Tom came and brought us a cold drink, which I shared, a bottle of ice cold water, which I shared with Tina. Now, then, later the same day, Susan, the lady who, you remember a month ago, the lady who sent 4 weeks, the lady who sent me a Mercadona delivery, food delivery. Well, we discussed some tweaks to the order and how to do this, because just to hone it, specifics for me, and I don't want people buying like posh biscuits, expensive biscuits, and expensive this, that, and the other for me. You know, when for the same money they could get a triple pack of plainer biscuits, you know, cheaper biscuits. So she asked me for recommendations, and I put forward some suggestions and left it up to her. Obviously, it's her money. I don't get the final say, do I? But she put another order in, and that we had that set to arrive between 8 and 10 on Friday evening, and it duly arrived. And it was the same delivery bloke as last time, so I stood over at the petrol station, the gas station. I just waved him, and he was already turning in. He pulled in, blocked the road, unloaded the wagon with my stuff, and yeah. Now this, where Jasper was asking about pretty ladies before, because the guy had blocked the road, there was another lady who'd parked her car, and she'd gone off across to either the petrol station or the Chino Bazaar. But when she came back, she was waiting to get into the road, and the delivery driver was still there. So she had to just hang back a couple of minutes waiting for him to get out of the way. But when she came back, and she wound the window down, and I said sorry, you know, lo siento. And she gave me the biggest I mean, a really, really pretty lady, but the biggest, broadest smile ever. But as far as I can gather, you know, she's not single, so don't start asking. Don't start asking if I'm putting the moves on. Very pretty lady though, very nice, big smile. Kind of made my evening, made my day. Apart from the food delivery from Susan. So thank you to Susan. And finally, no, it's not. There's 2 more. So yesterday I was talking with my friend Karen. I was talking about the situation that I have where if I don't have enough friends in the country at the minute, you know, at the right time, or if I've got friends here but they don't do PayPal, I can't exchange the PayPal monopoly money, you know, the funny money, into real coin or notes of the realm for actually spending in the shop. And she's working on a potential solution. So thank you to Karen for that. I don't want to say too much more because I'm not sure how much she's having to bend rules to make it work. You know? You open a bank account in your name and then give the card to somebody else in a different country. I don't know. So I'm not going to say too much more. But then this morning I woke up to a surprise, and Jodie M, the lady who sent me, I think it's 10 euros last weekend, and I woke up this morning to find she'd sent me another 10 euros. So thank you very much, Jodie M. Much appreciated. Don't get into the habit. You know? I don't need your money every week. Every second week will do. No, shush. Stop it. Okay, folks. Thank you to all of those guys and girls. Thank you to you for being here. Thank you and cheers to the subscribers. Keep the channel going. Okay, folks, this is episode 40 of TrampCast. Those were the thank yous for the past week. Now, I'm briefly going to touch on the themes of the week, but it gets a little bit repetitive, so I'm just going to quickly just mention them because, you know, I'm in Spain, it's August, heat, you know, trying to survive each day. Look at me now, I've put the parasol up, the sombrilla, just to try and keep the sun off because it's too warm otherwise. Inside the tent, I've already mentioned anywhere between 40 and 50 degrees, depending on how high off the ground you measure the temperatures. And water. Finding the time to go and fetch water when it's not hot. If you oversleep or if you've been awake all night and then you finally fall asleep at 7 in the morning, and then you wake up and it's just the sun's up already and it's getting hot. Or on an evening, the flies get out and bite you just as the sun's going down and you're thinking, oh, it's cool, I could go and get water. That's when you're plagued with the flies and they all get a little bit nippy and bitey. And not just the mosquitoes, the big proper real flies. So those are the main issues. Again, touching, because we've just done the thanks already, but the generosity of you guys. Young and old, male and female, people in Spain, people not in Spain, people who are British like myself, people who feel some kind of kinship with the British, like the Irish, or people just overseas, Australia, America, Canada, all of you, however or wherever, however you come to your decisions to help. I don't understand your processes, your thought processes, but I thank you all, and I really do appreciate your generosity. This morning I just put out the video clipped from last week's TrampCast. Done a lot of clips from last week's TrampCast, but this morning I did the numbers section and then the thank yous. I released those as separate standalone videos clipped. To say, it's just an extra way of me trying to say thank you and tell the world about how fantastic you all are and how much I need help. You know, I mean, I'm not going to pretend there's not a self-serving element to it. There clearly is. I mean, you know, you it's the situation I'm in, it's the position I'm in. I shouldn't really let an opportunity go by, and for the last couple of months I haven't really been clipping I haven't been making clips from the TrampCasts in the way that I should have. So it was good this week to get back on top of that and to see the reaction. Those videos, some of them went wild, 400 and 500 views, which for me is ridiculous. And they're not just being viewed by subscribers, they're being viewed by new viewers who then subscribe, or 1 or 2% of them. You know, if I can get a video in front of new people, if I can get in front of 500 new people, I might pick up between 5 and 10 new subscribers, which helps me further down the line. It's a cumulative thing. So I thank you all, whether it's just for subscribing, whether it's for hitting the thumbs up, just for being here. All of those things, I thank you. Donations in particular, you know, cash or food. Because I am a tramp living in a field. It's bloody hot. Bring cold water, bring cold beer, bring food. Send money. PayPal links in all the descriptions, sometimes in the linked comment. I don't want to harp on it too much, folks. I'm meant to be thanking you and expressing my gratitude rather than grifting. But don't miss an opportunity. Hey. Okay, folks. Like I said, those were the themes. They were the same themes as last week and probably the week before. So I don't want to harp on them too much. Okay, folks, it's a little bit later than normal. We're 55.5 minutes in or thereabouts. Shall we begin? This is TrampCast episode 40. I am Delta Mike. The channel is Down and Out in Torrevieja. Down and out. A tramp, a hobo, a vagrant, an indigent person, person of no fixed abode, a bum, someone who sleeps rough, someone who lives on the streets, or in my case, in a field. Here we go. Let's discuss the past week. And we'll begin, as we often do, with last week after the TrampCast. No, Tina, no. Tina, no. As I was about to say, we begin with last Sunday after the TrampCast. So we sat outside. We'd been doing that a lot recently, but then the week before we hadn't sat out after the TrampCast, we'd gone in. But last week we tried sitting out for a couple of hours. But as I just discussed a few moments ago, the flies were numerous. And it's just that time of year where they're getting a little bit bitey. Tina, can you stop? Hey! Just clawing at her face. Probably because of the flies. But Sunday night, we tried sitting out, but in the end we couldn't. So I tried watching the first half of TrampCast while I was out here, the TrampCast that I just completed. It's not that I'm a narcissist. I want to get familiar with where the breaks are and because I need to make timestamps and be ready for clipping and set up the chapters for people who are viewing the stream so they can jump forward to the specific parts. For example, if you don't like the numbers, you can skip them and jump straight to the thank yous or the themes or whatever, this part, the week, the individual days even. So I set up those timestamps, but I was interrupted by the flies. They just got too much, so we had to go in. But I'd had some videos going well, and they continued to go well, and the addition of the TrampCast being live and then going out, the addition of that meant that my videos sped up and we're getting more views. And so I was watching my graphs as I often do after videos go out or after TrampCasts go live. So there we were. We went inside, and I carried on just watching YouTube videos, and I also tried to promote a video that had been from a year earlier. I'd lost track of the fact that last weekend it was exactly 1 year after my previous tent, not this one. My tent before this. If you remember when my tent split end to end, when I had a smaller tent. It was about 4 meters long. This one's 7. That was 4. But we'd had some rough winds one night, and the tent split end to end. And that was exactly 1 year ago, last Sunday night, into Monday morning. And so I was pushing out a couple of the videos I'd made, like the immediate aftermath of that. Me basically squawking like a teenage schoolgirl, you know. What am I gonna do? How am I gonna live now? Oh my flying God, what are you doing? You know, you can imagine you're living in a tent and it's just split end to end. And you're in the middle of August, or you're approaching the middle of August, and by the back end of August into September, you're going to be getting rainstorms, thunderstorms. Spanish thunderstorms, proper real rain, you know? But now your tent's split end to end. What are you going to do? Now the videos that I promoted had like 80 82 or 85 views, something like that. And that's over the course of a year. Because my channel was still fairly new at the time I put that out. So, you know. So I thought, I'll tell people about that now, and there's 1,000 plus of you now, you'll all go and watch it. And that video will go from having 80 something views to having 1,000 views. Yeah. No. That didn't work. It's sat there now on like 94 or 95. You weren't that interested in my fucking home splitting end to bastard end. Leaving me basically sitting outside even when I'm inside the tent. I carried on living in that fucking tent for 9 months, I'll have you know. Maybe 8. So fuck you for not being interested. Fuck you for not being interested. I'm laughing, I'm joking. How dare you not be fucking interested? You're only interested in my news. Maybe it's YouTube just don't put the alerts out when I do one of those community messages. Maybe the community messages just don't go that far. I'm trying to find a way to give you the benefit of the doubt now, folks. Because I can't believe that there's 1,000 of you watching my community posts. And like 6 or 7 of you go and watch the video that I signpost you to. But that's what happened anyway. That was my Sunday, trying to promote those videos. And remembering what that was like. You got to remember how harrowing that was for me. Tina. If I have to say Tina one more fucking time, stop. Now. Thank you. Clawing away at her jaw. Sorry folks, didn't mean to shout into the microphone. Which I haven't covered. I don't know whether you're picking up wind. Nobody's said anything. Nobody's complained. But let me just see whether I should put this on and... Well, I should have in the first place. Oh, it won't go. There we go. I'm assuming that it wasn't too bad because no one's complaining. Anyway, that was Sunday night. Okay, into Monday morning, and I made a decision to tidy the tent out a little bit. Because I know 7 meters by 3 meters sounds large for a tent. But it's not the largest of living spaces if you think about it. Your typical bedroom's probably what, 7 meters squared? Maybe 7 by 5 in the UK anyway. I'm living in a space that that's probably the size of your bedroom plus your ensuite bathroom. And there are things I have to store in here that I can't put outside because the police will come and steal them again. Tina. Stop it. Don't make me angry. I don't like me when I'm angry, darling. Okay? Let's be a good girl. Okay, where was I? So yeah, I made a... Okay, this is becoming regular. You come in late every time, Stitch. Is this just when YouTube alerts you, or is this what time you get up over in the States? What's going on? You're probably just having your breakfast or something, aren't you, mate? Tina girl, please stop. Okay, folks. So, you just awoke. Does that mean that you're LGBT? No. Let's not get political. Hello, Matthew. Oh. And where am I? I'm losing track. I've lost because the brolly, the parasol, the sombrilla. So yeah, I decided to tidy up the tent, and over the course of the week, I'll mention this all now because I don't want to break this up over the many days. I've probably done 5 hours work sorting things and moving things and adjusting things inside the tent it doesn't sound like a lot, I know, over the course of a week, but like I said, it gets hot. From the time I get up and do the morning routines with the dog and the solar panels and all the other stuff, I don't have long before it gets crazy hot. So 5 hours of sorting stuff out while I've got light and it's not too hot, and you can't tell the difference. I walk in there and I'm still embarrassed at the state of the shithole. I got more in there now though because I've had an extra food deliveries and some other things, but thank you, Julie. Nice to see you here. So yeah, after 5 hours over the course of the week tidying the tent, you can't tell the difference, but maybe at some point it will start, to become more apparent. Or maybe I have to bite the bullet and move things out entirely, clear a room, and then put them back in a more organised way, rather than trying to shuffle things. Because I'm probably picking stuff up 2 or 3 times and moving it around, picking it up move it from A to B, from B to C, from C to D, and then from D back to A. So maybe I'm just working inefficiently. Maybe I should just be bringing it out. But not everything can be brought out and just put in the sun. Not everything works that way. So we'll see. I'll keep plugging away at it this week, and we'll see where we go. But these posts that I tried to promote on the Sunday was the lost jacket potato found. It was within the hour. Well, after an hour. But yeah, the one that got lost in the bed. Fuck. I knew I shouldn't have told the tale, but I put some potatoes on I don't think I put them on a plate. I think I put them on this chopping board, and then I carried them through to the bedroom. And oh, look at that! Someone looks right at you. You wave right at them, and they look away. Fucking people. But yeah, chopping board. And when I carried, I think, like 3 potatoes through, one of them dropped off onto the bed. And when I got onto the bed, I just could not find the fucking thing. I literally had to strip the bed. I had to pull back all the different blankets and covers and quilts and, you'd be amazed at what I can lose and how long I can lose it for. I lost this cloth for almost a month. And this is a cloth that I wash myself with pseudo daily, semi-day, once every day or 2 or 3 because, tramping a field. But I managed to lose it. Everything turns up. That's the thing to note. When you do lose something, it's going to turn up again. It's not gone anywhere. It's there. So you're going to strip the bed covers, or you're going to move something and it's going to be underneath, or the dog's going to knock something over, and when you pick everything up, there it is. It's like the time I carried out a carrier bag, a supermarket bag of potatoes and onions ready to do some cooking, and I found a pair of scissors that had been missing for 2 or 3 weeks. Even when you lose stuff, it hasn't gone anywhere. It's there, or it's here. You're just not sure exactly where. And it all turns up eventually. You'd just rather not be without it for the 3 weeks in the meantime, or the hour in the case of the jacket potato that I lost in bed. If you want some proper stories about losing things or finding things in bed, you want to go and find Drunk 3PO. So think C3PO, the Star Wars robot, but replace the initial C with the word drunk. It's all one word, I think. Drunk 3PO. He's got some classics about falling asleep in bed while eating bolognese and waking up and finding the spoon in the most ridiculous places. Drunk 3PO. That lad knows how to do a proper tale about losing stuff in bed. Where am I? Okay. So yeah, I decided to tidy the tent. I continued promoting these videos. This video about the tent splitting end to end. Not this one, my previous one a year ago. Continued trying to promote that, but all in vain because I've already said I got like an extra 7 views all week. Don't call yourselves my friend if you're not going to watch my video of one of my most harrowing moments. I squealed like a teenage girl. You should go and watch it just for the fucking comedy value. Go find the videos of me and my tent apocalypse is the phrase you're looking for. The word tent and the word apocalypse on my channel. There's 4 or 5 different videos. But the one that I was signposting people to had a more reserved daylight reaction and analysis, and then at the end I tacked on the 5 o'clock in the morning squealing, oh my god, what am I gonna do? Oh fuck, look at it. That one was tacked on the end, so it's good for the comedy value if nothing else, folks. It's good for the comedy value. Okay. In the evening I went to the shop, which I mentioned not for the going to the shop so much, but on the way back I had the option of picking up a cathode ray tube TV, an old TV, and also a vacuum cleaner. But I resisted temptation, even though I've got electricity here. I have got 230 volt electricity from my EcoFlood River 2 and my solar panel. But recent development on the last 3 months, maybe 4. But I resisted picking them up, which kind of comes back to haunt me shortly after, because a couple of hours later some kids come down the road here, and some like a gang of 10 or so teenagers, and 2 of them branch off to walk through the field. And if you remember last week I said I'd had a couple of incidents of people trying to walk through the field, which always unnerves me, because they're stepping off a road to walk around in an arc to step back on the road, off the road into the field, around and back to the road. It's kind of pointless. Unless you're coming specifically to see me, your only reason for stepping here is to scout out whether there's somebody here. See maybe what you can nick. See what you can steal. And this is what I'm always wary of when these people do try and come through the field. It's usually some kind of scouting expedition, or it feels that way anyway. I've had a couple of times where people have come and stuck their head in the tent and I'm sat there and they'll then say, oh, hello, and then walk off. And you're thinking, what are you doing? Why are you walking up to a tent, sticking your head in with no purpose other than just to say, oh, hello, and act surprised when there's someone there? All I can think is that they're kind of casing the joint. Are you there still? I lost you there for a second. And I had to struggle. Yeah. That was actually a struggle to reconnect, the screen wasn't taking the click, and I thought, how long before it times out? That was a worry. Because if I had to set the whole stream up again, I don't think I could be bothered. It took me about 20 minutes today, created a stream that was 3 seconds long that I had to delete and go back and just fucking enter everything in again. The YouTube app is pants on mobile. I've got no idea what it's like trying to set this stuff up on a laptop or a PC. No, it doesn't auto reconnect. No, it offers me two options: end the stream or try and reconnect. And then it wouldn't, just without the click, it was just sitting there. I took I've got a sponge on the side of my screen, on the side of the phone, to try and keep the wind out of the microphone. I took that off in case that was interfering with my touch on the screen. Pain in the ass. The YouTube app is really substantial, considering that Google are the multi-billion-dollar company that they're supposed to be. The YouTube app is pants. The trouble I have just setting the fucking orientation. If you saw the stream a couple of weeks ago where I ended up doing a whole stream in portrait, and then the one the week after where I did the whole stream, I started the stream, I put it in landscape, it showed my picture the other way up, and then I had an overlay the entire time telling me I'd got my camera the wrong way around, I'd got my phone the wrong way around, with a black overlay over the screen. Pain in the backside. Anyway, folks, where am I? I got this gang of kids walking through the field and I'm suspicious as hell about them. My dog launches herself out the door and the kids back off, say sorry and go back to the road. But the rest of the gang are dragging something behind them. And it's either the TV or, more likely, because it didn't break glass everywhere, the vacuum cleaner that I'd seen earlier in the evening. Makes me wish maybe I'd picked it up and taken it, but I can't imagine me vacuuming inside my tent, even though it could do with it. I'll probably resort. I've got a sweeping brush. I'll probably resort to that in the end. But that's not the only incident I've had of people walking through the field again this week. So 2 weeks on the trot, I've had two groups of people, or two instances of people walking through. It's getting a little bit weird. Like I said, you don't go anywhere walking through this field. You come off the road, you bow around, you sling back, and you go back on the road. You don't gain anything by coming off. So they're coming around to get a closer look at me and mine, is my only conclusion. And if I wasn't here, what would be missing when I came back? I don't know. Yeah, I know. And here's my other, this is what tears me the other way though, because I don't own the field. It's not my field. It's not fenced off. I've no real right to be here. You know, so other people have a right to be in the field. It's just a strange thing to do. I mean, occasionally I get a dog run through and an owner will come running through chasing their dog. Entirely understandable, you know. Do the same myself sometimes. Again. But it's just weird. The ones where I've had people literally walk up, put their head inside the door, see me, say hello, and then walk off. I have on occasion chased after them and taken a photograph on the basis of if anything goes missing in the next few days, I've got someone to point the police at. But you'd never really be able to establish an affirmative link, but you do what you do. So anyway, here we go. I'd seen a CRT TV, I'd seen a vacuum cleaner, and then this bunch of kids came down dragging stuff behind them. Now I had spent the day cooking jacket potatoes again, and I'd started late, nearly 1 o'clock, and somehow I'd ended up with them overdone. Like way overdone, like falling apart when you pick them up. and the onions were, I always put a couple of onions into roast while I do the jacket spuds. The onions were, just put your fingers through them, they were just, so that means I've got more power here solar-wise than I thought I had. I thought I had to start jacket potatoes no later than 10 o'clock to get them done, but apparently I've been overestimating the amount of time needed. Certainly in peak summer in August. I think in winter I'll struggle to cook a jacket potato at all, because the sun gets up above these trees so much later and goes down so much earlier. You only really get 11 while 4 in the field, and that might, and it's a weaker sun, so that might be a struggle. We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. Last year I was struggling just to charge a phone in winter, but that was just with 10 watt panels. This is a 100 watt panel, so I got a lot more horsepower at my disposal this time around. I'm not doing bad considering I started with just a bedroll, and then I got 4 broom handles and a discarded tarpaulin, and then someone gave me a proper tarpaulin, and then 5 months later when that perished, which is where the channel started, then someone gave me a tent. Simon bought me a tent second hand, and that lasted me, well, it lasted 4 or 5 months before it split. That's the one that eventually split, but then I carried on living in it for another 8 or 9 months. So, but all this time I've been building up. I started with nothing. I didn't have a phone, a tablet, a Kindle. I had nothing, and then the 2 ladies, Anita and Tina, bought me the phone. Then I started the YouTube channel, and you guys started donating. Then I met Karen and her family, and they've helped a lot. And piece by piece, bit by bit. There's Damien and Simon I've just skipped. Simon bought me the tent. Damien brought me the gas barbecue I had, and loads and loads of other stuff, that some of which I've only just stopped using, like the pair of shoes that fell apart not long ago. But I've still got, he bought me a pair of proper like walking boots, or walking boot style trainers, that I still use when I want something proper on my feet. So the people that have helped along the way, I'm so grateful for all of it. See, when I say I've built up from just me and a bedroll, not a bread roll, that's different. But but no, it's not so much me that's built up, it's you guys that's helped. Anyway, let's crack on. So yeah, Monday I had my jacket potatoes, even though they were overdone. And now Tuesday, 3 o'clock in the morning, I start hearing hammering into the ground somewhere. I couldn't tell if it's in this field or just away from this field. But remembering that last Saturday I'd seen a guy with a bedroll and a tent and, you know, stuff on his shoulder looking around the field. When I then start hearing someone sounding like they're building a camp or putting up a tent or something at 3 in the morning. And there's a bunch of trees up there with little, what do you call them? Glades isn't the right word, but little openings in between where you could build a camp or pitch a tent, some of them. I don't know. I'm conscious that having more people here could bring trouble on me, as it has in the past. Brings the police in and they start asking questions. How long have you been here? Then when I tell them that I've been here 22 months, as of yesterday, in this field, on Wednesday it'll be 2 years homeless, but yesterday was 22 months in this field. When I start telling the police that and they don't believe me and I have to get angry with them and they start calling me a liar, bearing in mind that they're holding a truncheon in their hand, a baton in their hand, and I'm getting angry when they call me a liar. Sometimes you just got to stand up for yourself, folks. But yeah, so that's Monday night into Tuesday morning. I'm hearing this hammering in the field. And I'm remembering that there'd been this guy looking around with a with a tent and a bedroll. But because I was up a lot of the night, I slept. I slept a lot the next day. Most of the afternoon and through the evening, I just couldn't. I kept waking up, seeing that it was getting dark, and thinking, you need to be closing these doors. You need to take your dog for a walk. You need to feed your dog. And I would wake, and I would look, and I just didn't have enough energy to move, and I would just fall back asleep. That was weird. I spent all night in bed with the tent doors wide open. I didn't even close not even the mosquito nets. I'm guessing that some sleep deprivation had built up over the previous few days. So there we were. So that's Tuesday into Wednesday. Just once we hit the afternoon, the day was just over. I was just asleep on and off, mainly on. Wednesday morning, this is where it gets interesting. I wanted to film the sunrise. A required lazy day. Yeah, I guess. What you get here sometimes at the weekend, which I don't always mention, you get loud music. Someone will have these big speakers with the subwoofers in the back of the car boot, and they'll just pull up on a cliff top and ba-boom, 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 all night long. And if you've ever heard Spanish music, all their songs have the same beat. There's just the same bass line. Every fucking song they've ever done in the last 40 bloody years. If all you can hear is the bass line, every song's the bloody same. Quite annoying. Quite annoying. But so what happens is I lose hours sleep. And I guess every week or two it kind of builds up, and I just get one of these days where, like you said, a lazy day where nothing happens. But Wednesday, I found myself kind of half awake at between 6 and 7 in the morning, and I knew sunrise was going to be just around 7, and I could see a lovely red glow on the horizon, and I thought, you should get up and go and do a sunrise. You haven't done a sunrise for a few weeks. Couldn't stir. Still couldn't motivate myself. Couldn't get up and out of the bed. Not for another hour. So eventually I take Tina out and we do the dog walk, and we end up around there unintentionally. I was intending, because of laziness and tiredness, I was thinking we'll just do a short walk just here to the road. She'll do her ablutions and we'll come back. No, she wanted to walk off and around, so I found myself off and around there. So I did a little piece to camera from a couple of meters down the cliff. And I'm rabbiting away, I'm talking away, hey, you know, blah, 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 blah. And then Tina gets up on top of the cliff, and there's Tina. No, Tina, no. So that's the name of this particular stream. Tina, quiet down. Hey, quiet. That's the name of this stream. Tina is the king of the hill, or king of the cliff, whatever it was I called it. I know it should be queen because female, but you know. In England, you might say the cock of the hill or the cock of the north, you know, I don't know, you know, but that might not pass muster with YouTube's censorship. But there I am talking away, and Tina climbs to the top of the, Tina climbs to the top of the hill. I'm just about to open another one, but I didn't realise the sun's moved around. The can that I put on the ground in the shade, wasn't in the end. It's in the sun. Fucking warm beer. I am so sick of warm beer. But I can't complain, because warm beer is better than no beer, and I went months without any beer. I don't know if any of you guys, yeah, I know the numbers are dropping, but I don't know how long you guys have been with me. That first Christmas in this field, when I'd been homeless for 4 months, Um, I dreamt of having enough money to buy a crate of beer, to buy a 12-pack of beer. And at the time, see this, get this. It was a dream, it was an ambition for months. One day maybe I'll have enough spare cash that I can blow enough money on a 12-pack of beer. Maybe at Christmas, maybe at Christmas. We were talking about €2.48 for 12 cans of beer. That's about $2.60 or 70 for those of you that are stateside. That's how cheap cans of beer were here a couple of years ago. You were looking at 22 pence a can, I think, at one point. So to buy 12, 220, 240, 260, whatever. And it was an ambition. It's something I dreamed of. Lying in this field before I had a tent. I'm just going on a tangent now. It's got nothing to do with my week in whatever. Some of you might have heard this before, but I used to just unroll my bedroll on an evening. I'd leave it until last thing at night because it would be wet with dew by 10 o'clock or in winter by 6 or 7 o'clock. So when we're talking about Christmas, 6 or 7 o'clock, things would be wet. I had a bedroll and I had two picnic blankets with a waterproof layer that I always put to the outside. So roll the whole thing up and leave it rolled up until it was time to get in. And I would sit there fantasizing, I guess you'd say, about what I would buy if I had money at different price points. If I had €5 to spare and access to Amazon. If I had €10 and access to Amazon. If I had €20 and could go to the supermarket here. And I would just draw these lists. And obviously they're kind of cumulative. The stuff that you would buy if you had €5 would all be in the €10 list, but then with some extras. Your €10 list, you add some extras. I didn't have pen and paper to write this stuff down. I had no pen and paper. I had no phone to type this in and store it. It was mental. It was, and it was driving me balmy. It was driving me mad. I called it wish listingtons, making wish lists. And these thoughts would just go round and round until I did get a pencil and paper. And once I could put it down on paper, and then I could tell myself, right, you've got nothing to add. It stopped going round and round. If you don't have anything to add, so once you put it on paper, hey Bella, Belinda, Binnie, however many other names we've got. Everybody say hello to Bella. But yeah, when I was doing this wish listing stuff, when I was wish listing in this field, not the Christmas, I was going to say just gone, not the one 8 months ago, the one a year before that. Oh man, when I finally got pen and paper or pencil and paper and could write this stuff down, get it out and down hard copy, and then it didn't have to be remembered, it didn't have to circle and cycle around. And I would lay here looking up and I'd watch the stars move around, and Orion became kind of my best friend. I know this sounds crazy, but the constellation Orion, he would rise behind this tree 7 o'clock midwinter, and he'd move around and he'd be gone, I don't know, 2, 3, 4, and a little bit later the plough, the Big Dipper, the Great Bear, whatever you want to call it, would come round, and I would talk to Orion. I asked him for a radio once. 2 days later, I almost got one. There was one in pieces next to a bin. Someone had put it out and left it next to a bin, and someone else had come along and smashed it, is what it looked like. But I asked Orion for a radio, and then there was one. And a month or two later, a lady bought me a radio. less than €10 in the Chino Bazaar. And there'd been times when I'd had €10. I could have bought, I had no idea they were so cheap. They had them as cheap as €6. Not good, but you'll have to catch the replay, Bella, Belinda, Binnie. Maybe I'm just speaking too quietly. But where was I, guys, before I went off on one about Christmases and winters and bedrolls and... Tina, King of the Cliffs. And then I'm talking and my dog and then I come back and do the beard trim. I did the beard trim, didn't I? And then I got told off by Karen. You see, I treated the trimmers like they were an electric razor, and I held them a certain way up. No, that's about face. Should have had them the other way up and been going bottom to top, I think. I am a certain way coming down, and I should have been the other way coming up. You live and you learn. You live and you learn. But I took the beard off. It's obviously it's on its way back already. It's been a few days. That was, I think that was Wednesday, yeah? That was Wednesday. So is that 4 days ago now? So obviously there's a beard here again already. It never fully went away. I mean, it was a clippers, it was a trim, it wasn't a... I didn't take it down to the bone. I didn't take a proper razor over the top and shave. But I did all that. I did that video, me on the cliff tops and Tina up above me, and a chat, a morning chat, and a look around, and then back here for the beard trim. I released that. I can't believe how many people have watched that. It's like 500 or 600. It's crazy. Now it was helped because I was also releasing these clips, these excerpts from last week's TrampCast, the little talking points and the little bits that work and the little sections. And for some reason this time, YouTube took to them, and I was getting 100 views here and 200 views there and 400 views there, and everything just kicked off. And a lot of my videos that weren't even the shorts that I was releasing were just getting carried onwards and upwards by the kind of the rising tide lifts all videos. Mixing my metaphors. So yeah, that went okay. Now one video that I did though that same day, I got annoyed with Lebara, my phone provider. Now, if you've been here a while, you'll have seen I have a love-hate relationship with Lebara. I basically love to hate the bastards. All the little rip-offs, all the little... Okay, Bella. All the little bits of legal shenanigans they play, all the times they tell me that I've got 80 gigabytes that are going to carry over and only 50 of them do. All of that crap. So then they just send me some random spam. Just like, hey, renew this, or do this, or buy that. And at the end of the message, it basically says, if you don't want publicity, if you don't want advertising to, if you don't want spam, reply. Send a message to 2222. Okay? 4 2s. Short code with your carrier. What can go wrong? I'll send the 2222. And the no plus publi message for no publicity, no advertising, no marketing. No, they don't allow that shit. I'm not allowed to send messages to 2222. What the fuck? You're going to advertise to me and tell me that to opt out of advertising I have to send a message to a number that you don't allow me to fucking message? Get to fuck. The fuck do you think you're playing at, Lebara? So I post a video, I post a message on Twitter, I name Lebara Spain, Lebara ES, Lebara España, in the tweet, and they send me a message. Hey, send us a direct message. Tell us what your problem is. I'm like, fuck you. I just posted a fucking video saying what the problem is. Fucking watch it and fix it, you bastards. Don't ask me to contact you again and detail what my problem is when I've just told you what the fucking problem is. So I said to them, no, I'd rather just embarrass you to the world. And that's kind of what I did. I got nowhere. I've got nowhere with the same complaint in the past. If you saw the video, you'll see me trying to send a message to 2222. I only did that as like a performance, like for the video, just to show that that I did try. But you can clearly see in the same video that I've tried in the past. Message cannot be sent. Message cannot be sent. Yeah, no no adverts. If you're going to advertise at me, make sure that I can send a fucking message to the number for opting out. Not happy at that crap. Not happy at all. But the message, in the first 3 hours, the message got seen by, is it 6 or 7 people? like my worst performing video ever. Literally, my worst video release ever. 3 hours and 6 or 7 views. But that doesn't matter. I made a point. I made a, and it got, in the next 3 hours, I made a tweak. I tweaked the keywords or something. In the next 3 hours, it got seen by 20 odd people. It still sat there on nothing much really, but anyway. This is when on Wednesday evening. This is when I saw on YouTube that a bloke called Sean. His channel is Expat in Mazzarón. Mazzarón. MAZARROACUTE-N. O with a and a cute above it. He went live, so I hopped on and just said hello on his channel, in his chat, and he gave me a shout out. He told people to come and subscribe, and I picked up another. I can't know how many came from there, but in the next 24 hours I got half a dozen new subscribers. Whether they came from him, whether they came from the shorts, the little video snippets I'd been releasing, I can't tell. I don't get that kind of fine-grained information. But thank you, Sean. And if you do see this, the invite to Tweeties is still open for Friday afternoon, 4 while 6. For Sean and for anyone else who wants to join me, I am going to go and spend money, actual real coin of the realm, at Tweeties and buy fish and chips this next Friday. I have to. Binnie's basically sent me the money twice, so I have to go spend it at least once, don't I? It's only fair. It's only fair. Cheers to Belinda, Bella, Binnie. There's so many names. I forgot one. There's at least 4 that I know, and I can only remember 3 right now. Bella, Belinda, Binnie. Them's the 4 that I know off by heart. Okay, folks, so that was Wednesday. Wednesday night into Thursday, I'm awake most of the night. And I carry on carving out more YouTube shorts, making more. Just, it doesn't sound like it should be time consuming. You're going to clip out 60 seconds of a video. But then you got to edit a little bit. You got to cut out the pauses, make sure it fits within about 59 seconds or less, because when you upload it, they can sometimes expand it by 1. So you got to tweak things. You got to cut out any obvious swear words or it's me, So most of the swear words, not all, but so you're clipping, you're changing. I'm editing the volume to make them louder, changing the speed, running them up maybe 10% or 20% faster, just speed them up a bit to try and compress them and fit them in. Some of them I add the captions of what was said during the talking, during the speech. So there's more, and then the upload. Oh God, then you're editing and putting keywords and titles and there's more to it than you would think. Uploading a 60-second video can take, well, it can be an hour's work, and that's me doing a job just on a phone. I'm not doing a proper professional job. I'm not a proper editor. I'm not zooming in at the right times and none of that. It's just the basics. Trimming clips and putting things together and cutting dead space, and a lot of dead space in my videos where I pause and maybe try and read something or So there I am, Thursday, Wednesday morning, Wednesday night into Thursday morning. Swear words and monetization. They prefer you not to swear within the first 2 minutes of live streams. And I think it's something like the first 5 minutes of proper videos. So it can have an effect, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Now, I'm not fully up on all the rules because I've only just become monetized. And in my first 2 weeks of being monetized, I have still made the grand total of €1.39. So I think it was that one live stream 2 weeks ago that maybe got monetized. And see, you're monetized, but then they have to decide to show some ads alongside. If you don't get any ads alongside, then it counts for shit. It counts for nothing. Somebody has to actually show an ad alongside your video, or in cut in your video. So yeah, even then, I don't know whether I'll ever get that €1.39 or whatever it is, because of my tax status, or lack of tax status in Spain. Don't say too much. The authorities could be watching. I know that they do watch sometimes. Hey, Oscar. The man from the government who came to help. He watched. Bastard. Okay, folks. So yeah, I'm carrying out these. It's a hot day. I'm doing these YouTube shorts. Oh, you see, the flies are starting to gather around me. This is where I decide I'm going to Tweety's, and I actually announce it that I'll be going on Friday. But I announce it the Thursday here, and I start smelling fish and chips while I'm laying in the tent. And I've got 8 days to go at the point we're talking about. I can smell them. I can taste them. Now this is where the Spanish guy from over the back, he's not in this field, but he's at the back of this field on the cliff tops. This guy's been working most days since he's been here. Leaves his dog unattended, whimpering and what have you all day, every day. Used to bring her to me until I got arrested and his dog got taken away overnight. So now he doesn't trust me with the dog. So he just leaves it tied up while he fucks off away. Authorities, if you're watching, I'm not grassing anyone up, but if you're watching, you might want to... Anyway, this guy has been working. He's been earning however much per hour, every hour, for X number of hours every day while he's been here, for months now, yeah? The number of times he's come to my door and said, can I take a bottle of water? I haven't got any. And this time he turns up and he says, I've got food, but I haven't got any food for the dog. You got any dog food? Now he's saying this in Spanish. So I'm doing my best. But I'm a bit annoyed. But I can't punish the dog, can I? And even though so let me just explain this briefly, just parenthesis, that's just a little aside. I got less dog food here now than usual. I would usually have a 16 kilogram bag of dog food here, and I would be somewhere in the top half of that. And when you get below half, I start thinking about having to get the next bag. But at some point, I had a 16 kilogram bag and someone brought me a 7 kilogram bag. So I literally just opened the 7 kilogram bag. No, it's not 7, it's 4, sorry. 4 kilogram bag. I've literally just opened this 4 kilogram bag. And I got this clown asking for dog food. And this is a bloke who's had money. He's like had money all day, every day while he's been here. Now he's earning it. I'm not, you know, fair play. I mean, he's Spanish. He's in a position to be earning it. I can't work legally. But he's here tapping me for water, and then he's here tapping me for dog food. So I give him 3 days worth in a bag, you know, 3 good 4 or 5 handfuls per day for the dog, times 3 or 4 days, and I gave him basically half a carrier bag full, half a shopping bag full of dog food, while I'm only on 4 kilograms myself. A little bit annoying, I have to say. I mean, he doesn't seem like a bad bloke overall, but out of the 2 of us, one of us has far more resources than the other. So why is it the one with the lesser resources that's hanging out more on a ledge, you know, more precarious a situation? Why am I the one helping him all the time? A little bit annoying. A little bit annoying. So yeah, like I said, I'm low on I'm not low on dog food. I got a good week or two's worth. At least I did have. Fuck. No. Some people, it's like the nerve and the cheek. Like, he's taken water from me all these times. Not once has he brought me a bottle back and said, here's that water back. And I'm sat here now struggling to get enough water to get by. Susan bought me some water with the shopping this week, so I am okay for now. We'll get to that. We're on Thursday. That arrived on Friday. So yeah, carry on publishing these shorts and monitoring. You know me, if I'm publishing videos, I'm watching graphs. And I was ecstatic. I was getting 50, 60, 80 views per hour all day for 2, 3, 4 days. The views are just piling in. And like I've said, for every 100 new people who see a video, you get a subscriber or maybe 2. So over the course of the week, I've shot up from, we were about to hit, we were just under 1,050 last week. I think it was 1,049 before the stream started. We're now on 1,087, was it, just before I started this? I can't, the YouTube app doesn't show me this shit. You can see how many subscribers just under the video player, it'll tell you. It doesn't tell me. Amateur time, amateur hour. YouTube, pull your fucking fingers out. Swearing again. But yeah, I got my videos going out. I'm watching graphs. Now I managed to leave the cool box here running and to not monitor the fact that, a bit like now, the solar panel's entirely in the shade but the cool box is running. So instead of being on 100% charge, the EcoFlow, the battery bank, is now running down, it's powering down, running out of power while this is going on. Really, we're up to 90. 1,090. That surprises me, but okay, good. I like it. Unless that's just rounding up. I don't know how they do it. Where are we? Paneling shade. Okay, that's Thursday night into Friday. Now this is interesting. A bloke called Tom had told me that he was coming out on Thursday and he'd probably see me Friday. So I'm listening out for a motorbike. Tom comes on a motorbike. I'm listening out for a motorbike. And I hear a bike come down the lane and stop outside the tent here in the road. And the dog hears it. Anybody stops here, even if they just stole the engine, she's out at the tent barking and wanting to eat somebody. But I come out of the tent and it's not Tom. It's the two young lads that I talked about earlier. Ronan and Luke. I think it was Luke. Could have been Lucas, but I think it was Luke. I apologise, my friend. But Ronan, Anthony's son, who came and brought me the beers that I discussed earlier. 2 8-packs of a branded beer, not... See this one? This one is a no brand. This is the... I think this one is Consume's cheapest. Consume's cheapest is Emmed Brow. At Lidl's cheapest is Argus. And Mercadona's cheap supermarket's own brand is Steinberg. You see, I got them all memorised. They all cost about the same. They're all about $3.50 for a 12-pack now. Jumped up in one shot from $2.50 or $2.60. Went up to something like $3.20 and then to $3.50 or $3.40. They all just 50% hike during COVID or just after COVID. They all just went through the fucking roof en masse in one go. Now, unlike my wine, which went up 50% and then came back down most of the way, these haven't. The beers haven't come back down. And coincidentally, the supermarket chains have all reported record profits. How the fuck does that work? Yeah? You get a bit of price pressure. Let's say your suppliers are jacking the prices by 10 or 20%. You jack yours by 50. When your suppliers bring the prices back down, you don't. Yeah, you fuckers. We're not daft. We know how it fucking works. Stop swearing. Okay. Cheers, Jack Attack, and everybody else. Or toot toot if you're of that persuasion. If you're of a herbal inhalation persuasion. I know for some of you stateside it's probably too early. Let's crack on. Let's get this done. We're coming up for 2 hours and I'm rabbiting on. So Ronan and I think it was Luke, but they brought me beer and ice, which is nice. I could only fit 1 bag of ice in the cool box, and 1 pack of beer. I got no idea what the DSHA means, Scruff. I don't know if that's a typo or if I'm just not au fait with the terminology. Maybe. Where are we? Beer and ice, the good lads. Yeah, good lad. I mean, it was good of the yeah. It was good of the lads to call by. I mean, Ronan doesn't really know me. I mean, him and his family. They walked down the beach looking for me the first time they ever came, and they found me. I think I was in the middle of writing up my notes for TrampCast one Sunday afternoon, like 2 o'clock, 2:30 one afternoon. So I didn't have that much time to spend with them, even though they'd come out specifically looking for me. His dad Anthony's been a few times, as I've mentioned. and his mum, Anthony, and his wife came. Have been out. Um, yeah, they took me out one night to the German bar, the little kiosk around the corner. Um, but it was good of two young lads on holiday. Actually, I think 21 or thereabouts. You don't really expect them to be going out of the way to look after the local tramp, do you? So that was nice. Thank you, guys. And thank you, Anthony. I don't know how hard you had to push them. Maybe, maybe. Um, but they're good lads. So yeah, thank you for calling, guys. Now, the same day, I got in a conversation online, and I read the conversation back the day after, and I'm a little bit, well, I won't say embarrassed by it, but I don't understand how the conversation got heated. And it was me that took it there. And I don't know why. Maybe I was just having a bad day, I'm not sure. But a conversation with a guy called Cecil. Cecil, we would say in England, but in America it's Cecil. And he's a guy, he's part of a group of people I've kind of been following for, I don't know, 3 or 4, no, more than that. It's got to have been before COVID. He does a show called The Jack Show, which is the initials of the 4 people that used to do the show. He's the C of the Jack. And they alternate each week on whose channel it's going to be on. Jack, he's Cecil. And I like the bloke. But he said something that just rubbed me the wrong way. Now, he's American, and they're very much anti-communist. But in my humble opinion, not wanting to go too political, but I'll just state my point. They view everything that's collectivist, everything where people come together to do something or achieve something, they view it all as communism. And I think like a police force and a fire service. Basically, I made the point, and this was the point I was making, that human civilization, society as we know it, is a form of collectivism. We come together in groups, and it means giving up a little bit of privacy. It means obeying some central rules that everybody's adhering to so that we can all get along. And so human civilization at its core, from when people get together as a family, as a village or tribe first, village, town, city, county, state or country. It's people coming together, aggregating in bigger and bigger groups into collectives of joint protection and joint responsibility. He made this point which just sounded anti-communist, and I kind of fired off with grow the fuck up or some sort. I just took it, and it was me. It was me. I took it too far. He wasn't being particularly acerbic with his comments, but I don't know. I read it back the day after, and I don't know why I went in as hard and fast as I did. But it meant that we were kind of arguing, or on the verge of arguing. And what I didn't realise was it was the guy's birthday. And I'm being all kind of acerbic and sweary and... So the next day, I had to walk it back. The Friday, I had to kind of... Hold on, which way round are we? Yeah, it would have been Thursday night, I made the original post, and it's Friday, I'm trying to walk it back and kind of apologise and say happy birthday. Bah! So Cecil, I know there's no chance you're watching, mate. You're far too big a YouTuber to be bothering with a pissant tramp on YouTube. But I have apologised already. I am serious about the apology, mate. It was for real. I still don't know why I went in as hard and acerbic as I did on that initial post. So yeah, forgive me. Okay, folks, let's move on. I'm just talking to one bloke in America now. So yeah, Friday. We're in Friday, and I've done the apology. I'm trying to apologise to Cecil, but now I'm waiting for my delivery. Susan has arranged another delivery of food from Mercadona. It's a month or 4 weeks since the last one, and we've talked it through. We've tried to tweak the delivery so that last time, I'm not having a go at her. Last time was too much all at once. I was rushing to get through fresh food before it went off. So this time she asked for more input from me about what to get and what type of things, and I tried to steer it more towards I think like lentils and rice and tins of I don't know, tins of beans or tins of fish. I can't remember the ins and outs now, but there was a discussion, there was a debate, there was a moving it away from fresh towards more stable products that aren't going to go off after 3 days. So thank you, Susan. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You know how much I appreciate it. I have told you already, but once again, thank you, Susan. If anybody else wants to follow the same routine, what we're doing is we're setting the delivery address as the Mercadona, not the Mercadona, the food's coming from Mercadona. We're setting it as the Repsol garage at the Repsol petrol station, gas station, at the top of the road, with a little note that the food's for the homeless guy, over the way. I'm open to offers. Doesn't have to be cash. You see, I've told you, cash to PayPal, and then me trying to convert the PayPal to cash. There's a difficulty. You could bypass it and go straight to Mercadona and buy the things. It's an option. Emails to Delta Mike Torrevieja at gmail.com if you want help arranging delivery, help with delivery instructions. If anybody wants to go that route, it's an option. Just remember to add a crate of beer to the order. I joked last week about adding wino to the list of synonyms for tramp, hobo, vagrant, indigent. We've got bum. We could add wino as well. Okay, this is where I got the delivery. The delivery driver came. I was stood at the Mercadona. I pointed over to the road. The guy already knew because it was the same guy as last month. And he pulled in, and he pulled a little bit further down than I would have aimed for myself. So he was blocking the actual road. And this is where the pretty lady was parked behind and couldn't get by. But I don't mind having to say sorry to a pretty lady and wave, because why not? A very pretty lady. But not single, I don't think. Unless she's the eldest daughter rather than the wife, but I can hope, can't I? So yeah, this was... So anyway, if you know me by now, Friday night, what does Friday night mean, guys? Friday night tights. What does Friday night tights mean? It means Nerderotics channel, but it also means me falling asleep and not actually watching half the program, doesn't it? Yeah, you guessed it. I fell asleep. Program starts at 10 or somewhere between 10 and quarter past usually. Somewhere around 11:15, 11:30, fast asleep. And as the closing credits are playing on YouTube, I wake up again. Here's the worst part. They now do a bonus hour over on Rumble. So I could have just switched over to Rumble and carried on watching for an hour. Didn't even enter my head. My favourite YouTube program of the week. Sorry, Scruff. But this is a long running thing. This has been for maybe 5 years for me. But I used to stay awake and watch it. I would be awake until 4 in the morning watching this thing. And nowadays, I don't get through the first hour and a half most weeks. Tina girl, stop scratching. Let's show the people Tina girl. Tina, stop scratching so that we can show you off. Tina, stop scratching. Oh, the phone's too warm. The phone's been... Oh, there she is, look. Hey! Fuck. Sorry. Oi! I do not have enough arms. And back to me. See whether I can put this back on here. And on that. Yeah, we get away with that. Okay, let's wrap this up, folks. Where are we? Friday night into Saturday morning. Now, I told you on Friday I was waiting for a bloke called Tom on a bike. And the bike pulled up and it wasn't Tom. Well, Saturday it was. Tom did pull up. And he brought a bottle of freezing cold water. Like literally, it was half frozen. And I don't know what it was about, maybe a litre and a half. Me and Tina split that between us. I put some in her bucket. And I was just drinking it like furiously. Because I'd been... I'm not sure what time he came. It was in the afternoon, I'm fairly sure. And I'd been laying there, and I stood up and I was like, wait, I've had to change my t-shirt today because I went to the shop and the green t-shirt, it had bands of sweat. And not just today, it had like bands of salt and markings from other days' sweat. Now that's just from laying down in the tent, trying to stay cool. I can't just sit out here holding an umbrella all day, every day. So I do tend to just stay in the tent this year. Last year I would have walked up to the park and laid under a tree all day. Tina can't walk that far easily anymore after the police kicked her. And I need to monitor my cool box, solar panel and EcoFlow. So I got a little bit more to do in camp this year. I could probably set things, there's a certain point in the afternoon where I've put the solar panel flat and the sun is directly overhead. I could probably go away for 3 or 4 hours. But as I said, the dog can't really walk. I'm hoping it gets better, but it doesn't feel like it is doing, and I haven't got the money to go to the vet. So I'm just hoping. But her back legs just seem to collapse under her every now and again. And when she tries to squat down, she doesn't bend her knees or bend her legs. She splays them really wide apart so she can get lower to the ground. It all looks a bit awkward and painful. Oh yeah, Tom who stopped by. This is where I am, on the cold water. And as well as bringing the cold water, Tom, he thrust a €20 note into my hand. Now this time I made a genuine attempt to say no, I've got enough at the minute. I've just transferred 50 euros to a pal, who the next time that he's anywhere near is going to bring me the cash. And you know, so I got enough to be going on with, but I still had 10 in my pocket from the other guys that have given me money recently. Aaron last weekend, Tina, Aaron, and who else? Oh, somebody else gave me 20 last week, didn't they? Tina girl, I'm going to get angry if you carry on. What's with my memory? Let me go to the Thankyous. Jocke, my Swedish friend Jocke. Sorry, Jocke. Think Joker, but in Swedish. Tina! Hey! Stop it. You're going to make yourself sore. She's just rubbing the same spot over and over, and not just like 4 or 5 times. She'll sit there for 5 minutes if I don't stop her. Oh, where are we? Where are we? So yeah, I made a genuine. I think I said last week that sometimes I make a half-hearted attempt at refusing money. This was a genuine attempt to say no, I don't need it. But Tom's obviously he's a good bloke, and he wouldn't take no for an answer. It's, you know. So I ended up taking it because it'd be rude not to. So thank you, Tom. Much appreciated. Cash, you know, there's an inherent value in actual usable money in the hand. Even in this day and age, PayPal's funny money, it's monopoly money. I have very limited uses for it directly. My main use is to send somebody 55 euros and have them bring me 50. And the extra 5 covers any PayPal fees, bank transaction fees if they want to take it out to their bank and take it as cash. Is that 20 past the hour? Is that where we're going with that one? 4:20, 2:2. It's not 4:20 where you are though, is it? It's just 20 past. It's 20 past the hour and it'll be 4:20 somewhere. I get you. I'm learning. Tina, no. Tina, no. Hey. Tina, go. No, no, no. Hey. I said no. I'm learning. See, I've never even smoked a cigarette, guys. I know nothing about, you know, I've never smoked tobacco. Not a single draw, not a single drag on a cigarette in my life. Never done any of your marijuana. Never done anything else stronger. Unlike Nick Ricata. Are you in the UK, Jack Attack? I thought you were stateside. I don't think Western Union was ever a thing over here. But there are places that you can have. Here's the thing. Somebody else can wire like PayPal money. Someone can send PayPal money to a point, and if I had ID, I could go there and pick it up. You can't send your own money there. So if I've got 55 or 60 euros in PayPal, I can't send. Oh, you're a jock. Okay. I can't send 50 euros of my money and have me pick it up. You have to be sending it to someone else, apparently. Also, I've got the point that my PayPal account isn't in my real name. I don't know how much of a factor that is, to be honest. Probably not, because it's someone else sending it and they just have to name the individual who turns up with ID. I got a broken passport, whether it would be acceptable because it was in a flood. I've had issues where the police have said it's not acceptable, so I've stopped using it. Now when the police ask, I tell them I don't have ID because they told me I don't have ID. Anyway, let's get this wrapped up, guys. Where are we? 2 hours 20. Sorry, I'm taking far too much of your time. So Tom stopped by, gave me money, and I put up a proper fight this time, but still ended up taking the money. Now, yesterday, Saturday, that you're talking about, 22 months in this field. Because I spent 4 days less than 2 months in the park when I was first made homeless. So in 3 days less, whatever it is. No. Hola, buenos días. Tina, shush. Hey. Oh, wow. 5, 6, 7. Tina. 8. Tina girl, quiet. Okay. 8 people walked past. I managed to get one of them to acknowledge me, but only because he caught my eye twice. The rest decided to walk on by. Ignore the tramp. Ignore the man in the field. Nice. Okay, where am I? Where am I? 22 months in this field. Yesterday. Now, I didn't really mark it in any way. I didn't do a video about it or anything because I'm planning on doing something for the 2 years homeless on, what day did we work it out as? I think it's Wednesday, yeah? The 14th. 3 days from now will be Wednesday, yeah. Now, what I haven't done so far is started editing together like a compilation video I was going to do of my journey. I haven't started, so I might not get that ready in time. I don't know why I haven't started, other than difficulties with the phone. I think I mentioned the buttons aren't working and the screen stops working and it's just struggling with the heat. I'm struggling for disk space. Yeah. I could have done an ace video if I had a laptop. I could have downloaded all the videos, all the assets. I could have put something fantastic together. But editing video on a phone is suboptimal, and especially when you've already run out of disk space. I'll do something. I'm going to do something to mark the 2 year, the second anniversary. Anyway, Saturday, here we go then. So as the 22 months thing kind of occurred to me, because I forgot about it for most of the day, but as that occurred to me, the videos, I've been deleting cache and all sorts all along. It is really running. It is actually running really low on space, and it's stuff I've stored. It's films, it's TV series, it's, yeah. I download YouTube videos even though I don't have a pro membership. Shh, don't tell. I was storing them on an external hard drive, but it got a corrupt file allocation table or some such. And now whenever I connect the external hard drive to the phone, it just offers to blank the hard drive. Just needs to connect to a laptop for 2 or 3 minutes just to spot it. Windows will spot the error immediately and probably correct it. Whatever the parity errors are in the allocation table and the shadow allocation table that they keep, Windows will spot the issue and fix it. It's just Android says something's wrong. Do you want me to delete it? No! Fucking terabytes of data on there, or at least hundreds and hundreds of gigabytes. Don't delete it. Yeah, I because my phone sometimes takes clicks that I don't do because of this issue it's having, where it either doesn't take clicks or it takes clicks that never happened, kind of ghost clicks, phantom clicks. I'm not going anywhere that can give. I went live today. I created the live stream and I clicked to kind of save it. I clicked done rather than go live. Fucking thing went live. I had to delete. I did a 3-second live stream, deleted it, and yeah, I know how to get there. I just don't trust my phone because it just clicks that I don't do, and that's a dangerous area to be. If you're somewhere that doesn't ask for confirmations, or even that does, if your phone's doing phantom clicks, that could go real wrong. What I need is to get access to my external hard drive, get the file allocation table working properly over there. Whatever it is it? It's not FAT32. Is it FAT extended, FATX, or it might be NTFS. I can't remember how I formatted it when I formatted it. Who knows? It's a while ago. Where am I? My videos stopped. My videos slowed down. Okay, use the volume as well. My videos started to slow down last night, and all these videos that have been getting 50 clicks an hour or 100, they start to slack off, and suddenly I was only getting 15 or 20 views an hour. Things just drop off. All right, okay, I'll have a look at that, Jack Attack. I shall have a look. I still worry that I'll, you know, what could possibly go wrong? If I disappear from YouTube, it was Jack Attack's fault. All right. But my videos started to slow down last night. Suddenly they're not doing anything anymore. There's just this drop off. But yeah, instead of 50 an hour, we're down to 15 an hour and below. And again, no Big Clive because he's still at the Edinburgh Tattoo, because he's a lighting technician or electrical engineer, whatever the right definition is. But Scruff Dog has stepped up manfully to take on the mantle of Big Clive. Saturday Night Clive is now Scruff Dog, and there I am. I go there, and I'm trying to type in the thing, but I'm trying to type, and my screen keeps freezing. Keyboard locks up. I type a few messages. I try and let people know that I'm there. But again, around Pussies and Pianos, the Rob Worrell section in the middle of the program, I think I fell asleep around then, and I woke up before the end. I was there again at the end. I just wasn't there all the way through. It's the time zones, though. It's the time zones, guys. You got to move that continent closer this way. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. So yeah, I fall asleep. But then, like I said, I wake up and I wake up at I'm not sure what time he finished. I think I woke up about 1:30, and he probably finished about 1:45, 2 o'clock my time. I enjoyed the program, what I saw of it, and I saw a lot. I mean, I was there for about 2 hours out of the whole thing, maybe more. So yeah, cheers, Scruff. You've probably left now. You're probably doing your game stream by now, are you? I think so. If not yet, then soon. I'll join you over there, maybe in an hour. I'll have an hour's break in between, but I'll come in and say hello. So here I am. I woke up, like I said, early in the morning, and I'm watching some YouTube videos, and I'm awake again. I'm awake, and I decide to hive off another couple of videos from last week's TrampCast, but not shorts. Shorts are 60 seconds on our portrait mode. I take the numbers video and the thank you video and put those out. Now the numbers is always really bad. Nobody's interested. Me and Scruff Dog are the only people interested in. I put that out, and in the first 3 hours it gets 14 or 15 views, if that. But the thank yous always does well, because when I do the title, Tramp says thank you to donors or donators or whatever word I use. That's just got more of a hook, drags people in a little bit more. And I know the use of the word tramp. Firstly, YouTube / Google, they don't like me using the word tramp. They don't like the T word, because it can be derogatory to females. That can be derogatory to homeless guys as well, but it's derogatory in a different way to females. So it's a kind of frowned upon word, and as soon as you use the word tramp, it means you're probably not going to get any advertising on you're going to be demonetized for that video, probably. Tina girl, stop. Tina, stop. But I put those videos out, and like I said, one of them does okay. And over time I tweak a little bit, but I didn't have the time today because obviously Sunday I spend from 11:30 onwards writing up my notes, moving them off the phone because I can't refer to my notes on the phone during the live stream. If I do anything to move me from this screen, even receiving a phone call, I don't even have to accept the phone call. Just the fact that my phone rings and switches to the phone app, I lose this live stream. See, anything that moves me off this, some administration things in the chat. If I go to block somebody, some of the actions I take where I press on someone in chat take me to another page, to another screen, and I'm out of here. Again, YouTube, you shouldn't let that happen. It's amateurish. Shouldn't let that happen without a confirmation dialogue. But such is life, folks, such is life. I have to cope. I don't have a computer here. I don't have a laptop. I've only got a phone. I'm blessed to have a phone because of Tina and Anita, the two ladies that put together and bought me it. And they bought me a brand new phone, not a second-hand one at the time. So that's, you know, I mean, that's exceptional for a start. So yeah, anyway, writing up my notes is most of what I do Sunday, transferring them to paper. And then at one point today, Tina girl, we had to go across to the Chinese shop, the Chino Bazaar. I kind of had it half in my mind that I was on the last roll of poo bags, for picking up the dog mess. I knew I was on the last roll, but it took me by surprise this morning when I pulled the roll out of my pocket and I'm on the last, like, 2 or 3. And there was one at whatever time this morning, 4 o'clock, 7 o'clock, whatever time it was. And then I decided to go across to the shop to buy some more, because they're about a third of the price of the supermarket ones. So I decided to go here. We get across the road, but we're in a junction. We're across a main road, but we're in a side road. Tina squats down and starts squeezing one out in the middle of the fucking road. And there's cars wanting to turn off the main road into this side road to go to the petrol station. We're in the entranceway, partly to the road to this Chinese shop, and partly to the gas station, the petrol station. And she's squatting in the middle of the fucking road, trying to lay cable. And I'm trying to pull her out so she doesn't get run over. I get her out the middle of the road, and she's dropping it as she goes. And when I turn around, there's a couple of cars gone past, and already I can't pick the stuff up. They've already run over it and squashed it. They would have run over her. They wouldn't have stopped. They wouldn't have seen her in time. It's my dog. That's my dog. But I was amazed. I mean, the worst thing was that I got down to the last 2 bags, and I'm on the way to the shop, and she decides to use another bag. I'm literally, after that, I got 1 bag in my pocket as I'm going to buy, and I buy about 5 months worth. I buy 24 rolls, and each roll lasts just less than a week. I think it's 15 bags on a roll. So yeah, but that's basically our day, guys. That's the week, really. That's finishing I had to get back and finish the notes. I was halfway through the notes when we went to the shop. So that was the week. Now all we've got upcoming, when you gotta go, you'll be squatting down in the middle of the fucking road. Wild cars are coming. Tina, stop it now. So guys, that was the week that was. Upcoming for the next week, in the next 7 days, I've already said, we're going to hit 1,100 subs any day now. Tomorrow, the day after. It depends how many shorts I can pull out and put live. Or whether anybody shares my video to a sizable audience. Hint, hint. So 1100 subs any day now. Wednesday will be 2 years of being homeless. Last year I did a video of like a day in the life. I mapped out I did a video saying, hey, it's today. I did a video the night before saying tomorrow's going to be it. I did one that morning saying, hey, here we are. And then I did here's everything I did in the day. And I think it involved chopping wood and washing clothes. And I don't chop wood so much nowadays because I'm not lighting fires and boiling water. Because the police would have me banged up if I did that. We're in the middle of a drought. There are fire restrictions. No, Tina, no. But I'm going to do a video of some description. I'm going to do a compilation, the story so far of the channel. And then Friday, of course, I've already said, I'm going for fucking fish and chips. Tina, let's have some quiet. Friday, I am going for fish and chips at Tweety's. If you're here, join me. You're paying for your own. I haven't got that kind of money. I am a tramp. I live in a fucking field. I am a charity case. But I've got enough money to buy a portion of fish and chips this week. Maybe even a cold beer while I'm there. Maybe even mushy peas. It's got to be fish chips and mushy peas. Mushy peas. Can't even say it, look, that's how out of practice I am. Okay, folks, I think I'm going to let you go there. Thank you very much for attending. Let's see if we can do this in the traditional manner. If you will stop scratching for more than 30 fucking seconds. I've got to take this sponge off. Then I've got to hope. Tina, you're Tina girl. Not in public. Put it away. Oh, there she is. Munching. Tina. There we go. That's better. There's my girl. Come and say bye-bye to the peoples. From Tina. And from me, Delta Mike, out. Have a good week, everybody. It's not taking my click on the fucking X. Fuck. Really? It took my click over this side for the other thing. There we go, folks. Awkward.